some scrutiny this week, Fred Hyatt, over its endorsements in the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors elections. You endorsed all men in those races, and two female candidates who did not receive endorsements said they were asked questions about their ability to juggle being mothers with elected office. I know that you have responded to that criticism by pointing out that at least one of those candidates, Jeff McKay, was asked a similar kind of question. We've got a tweet from Abby who says, can Fred Hyatt comment on several female candidates in Fairfax County alleging the editorial board had asked them whether they could balance public service with their motherhood, child care responsibilities, and then failed to endorse those women? I know there was one male candidate who said he was not asked that question, but Fred Hyatt, go ahead, please.
Sure. I'm glad you brought it up since it's not several, I think it's two. But in any case, it came as a surprise to me when WAMU's reporter called me, because the inference is somehow, do we believe that women with small children are less deserving to be elected? And all you have to do is look at our record of endorsements over the last couple of years to see that that's not true. Off the top of my head, we've endorsed Jennifer Wexton for many years. Well, she's had kids. Angela Also Brooks, well, she's had kids. Donna Edwards, we started endorsing for Congress long ago, and so it's demonstrably false, and so I'm sorry it was taken this way. A conversation that I heard as trying to just have pleasant small talk at the end, as one would with anybody about, what's your family, and life is hard for all of us, balancing work and kids and career. Was obviously taken by these two candidates differently, and I'm sorry for that. And
regardless of whether female and male candidates were both asked questions about their family lives, can you see why that line of inquiry might feel especially loaded for female candidates, even if it's small talk? It's, after all, small talk coming from a member of the editorial board who is likely to be writing an endorsement.
If it were a line of inquiry, I could definitely see that. As I said, given that our history of endorsements is very public and very clearly shows we have no bias against fathers or mothers of young children, it just didn't occur to me that small talk at the end of a meeting after the sort of substance was out of the way would be taken that way. You're right. In the future, I will be more careful to either not have that kind of small talk or to make clear it has nothing to do with our endorsement.
One of the calls we're getting seems to be from Alicia Plerhoples, who is one of the candidates running for chair of the Board of Supervisors. Alicia Plerhoples, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hi, good morning, Kojo. Yes, this is Alicia Plerhoples, and I am running for chairman of the Board of Supervisors. I was interviewed by the Washington Post editorial board. I'd just like to clarify a few things. Is that, one, not all of the candidates in the chair's race were interviewed for the endorsement, and it gave me pause as to whether I should even accept the editorial interview, given that I was starting from thinking that I was at a disadvantage when I was told that only viable candidates were being brought in, and that sometimes they don't go with the status quo. And that was my introduction to the Washington Post editorial board. I'd just like to say that I don't think it was not within a line of inquiry. I was still sitting at the table with the 5 editorial board members across from me when the question was asked, how will I be chairman with 2 small children?
Okay. Thank you very much for your call, and